Alright, so I had a few people ask about how to do this activity. So I'm going to make a quick video explaining maybe just two examples. So really the goal is to drag and drop these 8 equations into their matching scatter plot. So you basically just take these equations and match them with their corresponding scatter plots. Those are not actually matching ones, so don't just copy that. But that's just how you answer the questions. The way you're really going to figure that out, though, is by thinking about what line is actually generated by these linear equations. So remember, each equation, you can make a table, or you can think about a slope and a y-intercept. So let's just pick a random one. Let's take this equation. If I wanted to just come up with a table of points, I could plug in any x values I want. I plug them in here. So 0 minus 4 would give me -4. 1 minus 4 is -3. 2 minus 4 is -2. That's one way to do it. It's not the quickest way. Actually, thinking about the slope and the y-intercept is definitely the easiest way. A y-intercept of -4. Remember, the y-intercept is always added or subtracted from the end of it. If there is no y-intercept, it's really a 0 there. You're really thinking about that as plus or minus 0. But the y-intercept is really the starting point on the graph. So I'm going to graph this one on here, 0, -4. And the slope is the number that's being multiplied by the x. Here it doesn't look like there is anything. Here it's 1/2, here it's -2. That slope, in this case, is really 1. And what that's really saying is I'm going to make that into a fraction, 1/1, so that I can see it as a rise over run. And a rise is telling us how much up or down we're going. If it's positive, we're going up. If it's negative, then we're going down. Here we're going up 1. And your run, you always want to think about that going to the right. So we're going up 1, right 1. So from this spot, from that starting point of the y-intercept, you go up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. You can keep doing that, up 1, over 1. And actually, I happen to pick out the right scatter plot. You can see that that trend goes exactly along with that scatter plot. Not every point. You can see this point's a little bit raised. This point's a little bit lower. It doesn't have to actually hit each point in the scatter plot. These lines are hitting each point along that line. But the scatter plot is just generally following the line of best fit. The line of best fit is really just the trend of the scatter plot. Let's pick another one. I'm going to use, let's see if I can just erase that part. Actually, I'm not even going to use the table just because the slope and y-intercept is just so much easier. I'm going to use that. Let's use this one. 4 is my slope, which is really a slope of, I want to think about that as a fraction, so 4 over 1. So I'm rising 4 and running 1. Remember, if this was a negative, then I would actually be going down. Since it's positive, I'm going up. And I'm always thinking about my run going to the right. So I'm going to just graph it on here. And my y-intercept, again, this one and this one, it doesn't appear that they have a y-intercept. So that means it's really a y-intercept of 0. So I'm starting out at 0, which looks like it kind of matches that maybe. And then I'm going up 4 over 1. Up 4 over 1. I can't keep going on the graph because I don't actually, it doesn't go up to 8. So I'm going to think about that logic backwards. If I went up 4 and to the right 1, I'm going to go down 4 and backwards to the left 1. So that is the line of best fit. That definitely doesn't match this line. Actually, it looks like it matches the one right next to it. That is a y-intercept of 0, and that slope of 4 looks like that pretty perfectly matches that graph. So I would take this one and drag it over underneath this scatter plot. This one I said matched up with letter D. So I answered those two for you. You should be able to answer the rest of those on your own. If you need to make a table of points, that still works. You can still make a table of points and generate those lines. It's just a little bit longer than just thinking about the slope and y-intercept, but whatever's easiest for you works. When you're finished, hit share, and then type in my email address. Let me know if you need any other help.